it do to all my motherfucking free game people out there, man. To all of my FNB people out there. Now I was on TikTok yesterday, and a lady said something that kind of brought my attention to some shit that I just want to talk to y'all about. In accordance to, like, maybe you want to heal from something, or maybe you growing past some shit, or even just generally in life. So what she talked about was like the idea of colors, sounds, and just things corresponding with trauma or anxiety based feelings, right? And she basically was saying, like, let's say you go through a traumatic event. Once you go through that traumatic event, if let's say you seeing this color during that traumatic event, that now you are now associating that color with that traumatic event, to where you don't even have to have a full reminder of the traumatic event to feel the feelings if you just see the color. So if you just see the color, now you're feeling all those feelings of that traumatic event. Now I want to bring that to y'all attention, I'm bringing that to y'all attention because it's important to stay aware and very present of the things that's going on around you at all times. Because once you become aware of that, oh, this color is triggering this, so that's why I'm feeling this emotion, it defeats that, to where now you can't just be triggered by colors, or you can't just be triggered by a motherfucking sound. You know what I'm saying? And this is a real thing. That's why it's like, you gotta think, that's why it's even certain smells that you can smell that remind you of your childhood, because you correspond that smell with maybe a certain memory, maybe a certain day, whatever the case may be. So that correspondence is very real, and you can recognize it within yourself, and you probably have, you just don't know it, because even certain things you see corresponds with a feeling of freedom, a feeling of just being a kid, all these things. So understanding this correspondence is important. Being very aware and very present is important, because it can be little things that you have been programmed to respond to with anxiety-based feelings, just off of a color, just off of a sound, just because every time you see said thing, this sound or this color was shown. Feel me? And it's important to be very aware. Be very aware that that is a thing, y'all. If you're not aware of that, then you can be controlled. Now when you having a moment of let's say you having a moment of enlightened thought, or some type of smart feeling, anything of that nature, these things can be put in your face and wipe that from you, and now you are just having spurts of just anger, a spurt of anxiety, a spurt of depression, a spurt of anything, because of the fact that these things have been corresponded and put in your face now. So it's also very important. That's why, you know what I'm saying, doing shadow work, my nigga. Shadow work is important, so you can really dive deep into every traumatic situation to sometimes gain some understanding, learn your triggers. You see what I'm saying? Learn what things correspond with this. So then you just not out here living unconsciously, and then feelings is just unconsciously coming up. Now you just feeling anxiety out of nowhere, and you don't even know why. You just walked in, you smelled a smell in the cafeteria, my nigga, but it reminded you of when you fell down, busted your shit, and all the little young ladies seeing you and laughed at you, and now you feeling anxiety just because you smell that same. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, you got to be very aware, because a lot of us don't understand that things sit in your subconscious for a long time, and you got all these little triggers that you don't even understand. You just out of nowhere, now you feeling anxiety. Out of nowhere, now you feeling depression. Out of nowhere, now you feeling anger. You see what I'm saying? And it's because of the fact that you haven't recognized your triggers and recognized that that's just something that's bringing back things that you've already conquered. So, or maybe you haven't conquered, just bringing back things that you haven't conquered that's still just sitting there, and it's just a trigger. So that's, recognize that. Pay attention to your mental state. That's very, very important. Pay attention to your triggers. This shit take time, y'all. This ain't no easy task, my nigga. You're not about to do this in a day. You gotta be real aware. Feel me? But I'm gonna let y'all go, man. Y'all take care of yourselves. Free game. I love y'all. My FNB people, I love y'all. I'm out of here.